What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video. This video today is going to be something a little bit different that has been talked about in the MyTEAM community for a little while. Talked about at the end of last year, at the end of 2K20, and it still is talked about today. And the common question is, should you be forced to green shots to make shots? And I'm going to be going over my opinion on this topic because I have a pretty strong opinion on this topic. That isn't the same as a lot of people, but I'm going to be going over that today in this video. But if you are new to my channel and have not yet, please smash the subscribe button as we're on the road to 40,000 subscribers. And before I tell you guys my opinion, I want you guys to comment down below. Do you guys think that you should be able to, that you guys should be forced to green shots to make shots? For example, wide open three with Steph Curry in the corner. Should you have to green that shot to make that shot? Comment that down below because I'm very, very intrigued to hear your guys' opinion. And so over this video, we're just going to watch this game, for example, so you guys can just see some things. So like here's a prime example with Steph Curry. Should he be forced to green that shot right there to make the shot? And if you get a full bar, is that just, well, you got a full, we're not going to give you any whites to make up for it. Should you miss fulls or should that not be part of the game? Because as you guys can see here, I was playing Newman here, makes a great read, right? He legitimately gets it in the perfect green window, but whites the shot. Okay, whatever. You're just out of luck, I guess. Gets a full bar. Okay, that's, I guess, if you're forced to green shots, that's just going to happen. You're not going to get your white back. There with Grant Hill, I white. That's just part of the game right now. Okay, that's just part of the game right now. He misses his white. That was a full, should have been green. I make my white. Okay, that's just, I just pulled up to a random point in the game. I didn't even know that was going to happen. But my point is this, guys. My point is this. Both of us played bad defense on that last possession. Another bad defensive possession by me. He misses his white. And then on the other end, I convert it into 2 points. So I make my white with the worst shooter that shot a wide open yet in Grant Hill. And he's 0 for 2 on his white. So that's just kind of how the game can swing within the game. But I will say this. A lot of it has to do with momentum. We know momentum's kind of a common thing in 2K. When you have momentum, you make whites. When you don't have momentum, you make less whites. That's just part of the way 2K is right now. But my whole thing about should you be forced to green shots compared to not green shots is this. If you are forced to green shots, then that's basically the only it's not the only skill gap, but then that's glorifying shooting. Shooting's just, it still is a skill gap, no doubt about it. Greening shots is still a skill gap. Like right there, if I white that shot, it might not go in. You know, if I white it, it probably has about a 50% chance to go in. This is on Superstar right now, which I'm fine with. That was bad defense by him this last possession. If you don't think that I deserve to score on this possession right here for making a good read, posting up Steph, and then making a good read, kicking out to a top shooter in the game, if you think if I white this shot, let's say I spike, let's say somebody's not playing on LAN cable, let's say the average unlimited person doesn't play on LAN cable, they don't play the game all day, they deserve to make this shot just because they don't green it. Even me, if I'm let's say just miss time one release, I shouldn't be forced to miss a wide open. That's bad defense by him. If I make this defensive play, even if he whites it, that shot deserves to go in my opinion. But that's my opinion on it. A lot of people think, you know, you should be forced to green shots and this and that. But my thing is, play good defense. Don't leave my guys wide open. If you don't want to give up a white, don't leave my guys wide open. Don't even give them the ability to shoot a wide open. Again, wide open shot, I white it, I miss. Some whites miss, some shots go in. And that's the way it should be. The thing is, I don't understand the whole you should be forced to green. Bad defense by me. He deserved to probably make the shot. It's so wide open. Sometimes whites go in, sometimes they don't. And I get why people don't like it because I didn't mean to shoot that, but that makes it seem like 2K is in control of who wins the game and this and that. And Algo plays a big part in this game, no doubt about it. But I'm going to tell you guys this. Defense should matter in this game. Okay, and that's all I can say. If you give up wide open shots to some of the top shooters in the game, Cam Reddish, Steph Curry, Blake Griffin, Zion, they're going to make whites. That's part of the game. Okay, that's part of the game. They're going to knock down whites. If you don't like that, play better defense. I've gotten into some heated arguments even with some people like Ty. The skill gap should be shooting. You should have to green shots. And I disagree fully. If you leave my guy wide open and I don't green the shot, that's you, okay? That's you. You shouldn't leave them wide open. Is it me too because I didn't green the shot? Absolutely, but it's physically impossible to green every single shot, just like it's physically impossible to never leave somebody wide open. It's just part of the game. And so obviously it's just like this. It's like sometimes you'll get a tip pass, sometimes they'll grab the ball on defense. It's just all half and half. It's not like they're going to intercept the ball every single time that you throw it, whereas sometimes they might intercept it. It's the same concept. Sometimes you'll shoot a white and it'll go in. Sometimes you'll shoot a white and it'll miss. But you shouldn't be forced to, because here's my biggest point that I'm trying to make here. If let's say this guy is better than me at every part of the game, better defensively, better dribbling, makes better reads than me, but can't green, so I purposely give him wide open shots on every possession. He simply can't green, so he misses every single shot, even though he's shooting wide opens on every single release. Let's say it's slightly early, slightly late, slightly early, slightly late. Misses every single shot, but because of that, but plays better defense than me, is better all around. He deserves to lose just because he can't do one part of the game. That doesn't make sense to me at all. It makes no sense. If somebody is better, but they can't green at all, they should still deserve to at least knock down some whites. Right there, that's a tough shot. That's a skill gap right here. If you don't think this is a part of the skill gap in shooting, this is a tough shot off of a screen in a small, tight window with Zion. I greened it, it went in. If I white that, it's probably not going in. But that's part of the skill gap. To say there's no skill gap in shooting is wrong. There is a skill gap in shooting. Greening shots is a skill gap. But you got to know that whites are still going to drop, and that's just part of the games. I personally have a pretty strong opinion on this. Now, I'm defensive minded as well. And so I believe if you give up a wide open shot, you deserve, they deserve to score 3 points. That's part of it. If you're good enough to green it. I mean, if you knock down a white here and there, I'm fine with it. It's part of the game. At some point, people have to take responsibility to themselves. They can't expect that 2K is just going to bail them out for giving up wide open shots to the best shooters in the game. If you give up a wide open shot to a Hall of Fame corner specialist, Hall of Fame catch and shoot Zion Williamson, you should expect the white to go in. That's bad defense that was played. And people they expect to get bailed out for some reason. I don't understand it. I've been a component of white should go in just because it's impossible. It's physically impossible to green every shot. Just like it's physically impossible to make every white. It's physically impossible to intercept every pass. Some passes go through your hands. Some passes you just tip. It's part of the game. Why should you make shooting any different than defense? Why every time somebody dribbles into my leg or I should get a bump steal, I don't get it half the time? It's all that type of way in 2K. But people want to glorify it just into one big category into shooting, which shooting is just one part of the game. So I'm absolutely fine with the way shooting is. 100% fine with it. Do I green more than most of the people in the community? Absolutely. Do I think that the rest of the community should just, be harmed necessarily or that no whites should go in just because I green more? Absolutely not. I feel like I am rewarded. If I green shots, play the great defense, the algo is going to be on my side. I'm going to hit more whites. They're going to miss their whites. That's part of it. It all plays into one big kind of algo scheme in 2K. And the thing is, I don't think you should have to green every shot. I might be alone in that opinion. A lot of people might disagree with that, but it's really kind of a difficult subject that in the community. A lot of people disagree there. Obviously, I hit a white here. Newman gets upset, but you want to know what I'm going to tell Newman right here? It's bad defense. You gave up a wide open shot to the best shooter in the league. I got momentum. I got two people with takeover right now. You got to know right now, if I shoot a white, it's probably going to drop. And there, pow, wide open shot with the best shooter in the game. That shot probably has a 40% chance to go in since it's off the dribble. Steph was blinking, but Curry hit it anyways. And obviously, that's just part of what 2K is. It's part of what happens. Whereas if I give up a wide open shot here, it's probably going to go in as well. Now, in Unlimited, do a lot of whites go in? More whites than I wish? Absolutely. But to say that no whites at all should go in, I disagree. I fully disagree with that, because then I think that takes away part of how you play defense. And for example, I played a play now game the other day on Hall of Fame. The other day. And I lost. Because it was on Hall of Fame and I didn't know my players' releases. So I whited shots. Even though I outplayed him in legitimately every other area of the game, he knocked down more shots than me. He won the game. Because on Hall of Fame and play now, whites didn't fall. And the thing is, you shouldn't be rewarded for playing bad defense. A lot of people that aren't necessarily defensive minded say, yeah, you need to green every shot just because they're better at shooting and that's their main strength. People wanted 2K to implement that greening to win skill in the game, and I've never been a big component of that. I mean, would I hate it if 2K did it? No, but I don't think that's what they should do. Whether it's unlimited, whether it's a competitive game, I don't think that's what they should do. The skill gap is here. There is a skill gap in shooting, and if you don't think there is, you're invalid. If I white that shot, it probably doesn't drop. I have to green it to make it, and that's a skill gap. If I white it, there's probably a 50% chance to go in. So just on that shot alone, there's a 1.5 point difference between greening it and not greening it. If you want to get technically mathematically speaking, if that's not a big enough skill gap for you, I want to know what is. It shouldn't be green or miss. If I'm wide open, that's bad defense. At the end of the day, that's all I can say. You shouldn't be rewarded for playing bad defense just because the guy doesn't know how to time all of his releases, or just because the guy doesn't play the game that much. If you play bad defense, you should have to deal with the consequences of that. And that's my final takeaway. I know a lot of people in the community, a lot of the competitive people might disagree with me on that, might think, you know, Ty wants to be bailed out by 2K just because he doesn't green all of his shots, this and that. No, you should be rewarded for playing good defense in the game. You should. I've played some of the guys in the community that green the most shots, and every time they get left open, I expect it to go in, whether it's green or not. That's part of it. If I play bad defense, you should expect to give up points. That's the way basketball works. You should get rewarded for playing good defense, good offense. Shooting should not be the only skill gap, guys. But I'm interested to hear your comments. I'm expecting a lot of different thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and let me know kind of what you guys think. Do you guys think greening should be the biggest skill gap? Should be the only skill gap in the game? Should you have to green to win? Because I don't think it should be that way. I truly don't. Especially, like, for example, if somebody has takeover from the corner, you have all the momentum and they're left wide open. It's just, there's a lot that goes into it. But I do not think you should have green to win. Have to green to win, although greening still should be a skill gap like it is in NBA 2K21. But drop that comment down below, guys. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.